Whether it's Darren Lehman, the first cricket player ever to be found guilty of racism and slapped with a 5-match ban, or the very cocky player-turned-commentator Dean Jones, who was sacked after calling South African player Hashim Amla a terrorist on air, the Aussies and racism have shared an unpleasant but close relationship. Add to that, Aussie umpire Daryl Hare, who lost his job as umpire for test matches after being accused of being racist in his cheating allegations against the Pakistanis in the Oval Test fiasco. The Muthaiya Muralitharan no-ball incident, which led the Sri Lankan team walking out in protest, also had clearly racial overtones to it. And racism from the crowds in Australia is also well documented. Murli has been a favourite target with them. Monty Panesar got a taste of it during a tour game in Australia, and the South Africans too protested against it when their coloured players Makhaya Antini, Ashwell Prince and Herschel Gibbs faced racial taunts. Racism apart, player conduct on the field from the Aussies has also been a constant issue, with the Aussies getting away with murder on several occasions. Take the Michael Slater incident from 2001, when he got into a fiery exchange with the usually calm Rahul Dravid over a catch claim. Or the Glenn McGrath-Ramnaresh Sarwan spat, where McGrath had very clearly crossed the line but against whom no action was taken, leading to a pretty major uproar. So blatant was their on-field misconduct that even the Australian Cricket Board, as it was formerly known, made the players sign a code of conduct agreement with a threat of suspensions and bans if broken.
Well, up first news, which is shocking and in fact very, very unsettling to all those people who have families or friends studying in Australia. Yet another student from India has been attacked in Melbourne. This attack taking place on Monday. Baljinder Singh, we believe, was alone when he was robbed and stabbed by 2 men in the stomach. That's him on your television screen. Baljinder is now recovering in hospital. He's a 25-year-old Indian student and says the student community from India and Melbourne feels unsafe after the spate of attacks. This latest attack occurred near a railway station. Police said they're looking for any witnesses who may have seen 2 men in the area, aged about 20. And that, of course, comes just days after news broke of a horrific attack on 4 Indian students at a party in Australia. One of the students, Shravan on your television screen, is in coma. We believe he's rather critical and is battling for his life. In fact, the nightmare for those students refuses to end. Their homes were burgled even as they recovered in hospital. Well, in a separate incident in Melbourne earlier this month, another Indian student was thrashed on a train by a group of men. Police have released CCTV footage of the bashing of an Indian student, hoping the public can help identify the perpetrators. We believe 2 men have been arrested in connection with that attack.
Of a 4th attack on an Indian in just under a month, the latest attack being reported from Sydney. This time the victim, 25-year-old Rajesh Kumar, he has suffered 30% burns when a suspected petrol bomb was hurled into his house. The picture you see on your screen is of the shattered front window of the house when an unknown person threw a petrol bomb through the window last night. Rajesh's condition is believed to be stable now, even though he has suffered 30% burns.
This has to stop. We have seen over 60 to 70 violent attacks in the last 1 year and over 600 reported attacks, and that's too many.